Hey, I really want to get clear on the Sagittarian energy, and I've already added some stuff here in this humongous book. Let's see. This is what I've written so far. Sagittarius season began yesterday, the 21st of November, and it will end on the 21st of December. And the words that I associate with the Sagittarian energy is speaker of truth, focus, temperance, aim, archer, intimacy, hot and cold, purity, pouring. Then I've also written embracing all you are, have been, and will be. And I thought about this, was it 2-3 days ago, when I was drinking some water and it was super cold and it was so good, like it felt so clean and pure. And I've had that experience before with coldness, and like now in Norway where I think we're in winter and it's getting colder and the air feels clean, it feels fresh. And so I have this perspective that both coldness and heat purifies. And so as you temper, you add a little bit like coldness or heat, and it's purity that you're adding, and it's this play, you know. I want to create some kind of image to represent Sagittarian energy, and I'm playing with the sorceress energy. And so I think maybe I'll create the sorceress with the perspective or with the current season that is Sagittarius. I don't know, we'll see. My drawing skills will benefit from this practice for sure. And then I've also written that Neptune goes direct to the 1st of December, and Chiron goes direct to the 17th of December. And the reason why I said that, why I added the word intimacy, is because I like to imagine Sagittarian energy as the oldest of the fire sign. After Aries, that is the spark, the ignition of the fire. You have Leo, which is the height of the fire, when the bonfire is at its peak and everyone's dancing around it and playing, and there's some mischief in the air as well, enjoyment, joy. And then you have Sagittarian energy, which is when the fire has calmed down again, but the heat is still very present, and it's like after everyone's danced, you've had the initiation, the beginning, right, Aries, and you've had the party going on, the play, and now comes the Sagittarian part of the evening where everyone's kind of tired after dancing. We've seen each other, everyone's seen each other, and now we're sitting with each other around and seeing each other even more. It's like the morning after you've been with someone, you know, and how it's so vulnerable in the morning when you guys look at each other. The first sight you have of your lover or your partner or the being that you've been intimate with is like super intimate, because you're all fresh and you know what I mean? So I feel this intimate energy with Sagittarius. It's very pure, very honest and direct. And I think maybe that's why temperance is associated with Sagittarius, for the Sagittarian energy to practice the nature of tempering. So you have truth and the expression, the presence, the being of truth, and then as the truth is communicated with different beings, different perspectives, sometimes the truth isn't received as it is or as it has been expected for it to be. Sometimes someone hears the truth and responds in a way that feels offended when the intention wasn't to offend. And so temperance is this ability to know the truth, speak the truth, and temper it with compassion, temper it with wisdom. So Sagittarian energy is also very much wisdom for me. Philosophizing, not being afraid of going to both sides of the polarity again, getting something from the cold, getting something from the hot. There's this awareness of balance. There's this awareness of how everything has its place. And even as you aim and focus, right, the Sagittarian energy is often depicted as the archer. There's the awareness of, as you pull back, it's to shoot forward. And again, there's like an embrace of lower parts of yourself or of someone else, lower energies that are negative, maybe even destructive, and being able to appreciate its part, its role within the all that is, and even utilize it in a way that is progressive, in a way that is efficient as well, and that moves towards what it is you're aiming for, what it is you're focusing on. So what I've also written, I did a reading, personal reading yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was Friday actually. And the 4 cards I got were tempering. I think I have like a deck. I'm creating a deck and it's plus 60 cards, I think, at this point. So I got tempering was the first card. And then the sun. And then the seed. And then sorceress. And I wrote, the sun and the seed are both carriers of the heart's truth, dancing as they meet through the waters and threads of communication, which is why I drew this spider and the cobweb, spider's web, and I'll share more about that as I read what I've written here. Using the tools you have to maintain the resonance you desire. The universe will present you with opportunities to enjoy, strengthen, share, nourish, love, and appreciate the resonancy you're maintaining or practicing maintenance of. Often, big changes are made as you make small changes in the true direction daily. So it's not always about making like a huge step as much as possible, but rather having those opportunities daily where you are challenged. Someone says something you don't like, to then put into practice the resonancy, the energy you want to be in. So if you want to be in joy, if you want to be in unity, collaboration, how can you best meet with this challenge in a way that honors, in a way that nourishes and nurtures your focus, your desire. Big focus for me right now is virtues. I'm gonna change the sound. That's better. Yeah, when something is full of use in practice, it becomes useful. And demonstration is the best form of teaching. Practice rather than preaching. And I remember last year I said the more you practice, the less you preach, because I found myself in this state of like wanting to tell everyone else what it is I was learning. And when I was seeing things that weren't matching with what I wanted to practice, I was doing my best to get everyone else to come aboard with what I was focusing on in an attempt to make it easier for myself. And so this is a shift, right? Because now I'm focusing on that everything outside of me that presents itself that doesn't resonate with what I want to focus on, the world I want to live in, the way that I want to practice being, is now an opportunity for me to be aware of where I am, where I want to be, and then meet with where someone else is in a way that honors both of us. And I feel like that was a little bit confusing. I got a little bit confused myself, but I'm going to share some more here, and hopefully it'll get more clear. So I say, if someone is in a state of emotional emergency, which means if someone is in a state of gossiping or complaining, is what I'm calling an emotional state of emergency, the best support you can be is to stay in alignment with your own truth, which is integrity, right? And then I used, because I was watching Abraham Hicks, I think is how you pronounce it, and they were talking about how they were using a metaphor of a cork in the water, and when it was at the surface of the water, it was in alignment. And sometimes when we try to pull, let's say someone is trying to pull us down, pulling the cork down, it takes more effort than to let it go and let it be where it is. And sometimes also you might try to lift it up, which can be arrogance or superiority, the way I'm seeing it. And it takes more effort again, rather than just letting go and letting it be as it is. And so as you practice and being honest with yourself with where you are and where you want to be, and remaining in your own integrity, your own truth, then everyone outside of you are a part of your journey of learning to refine who it is that you are, rather than trying to create, you know what I mean? So you're working from the inside out rather than the outside in. And it feels good, you know, it feels really good. It's way more relaxed and self-empowered. So then I wrote, and again, that's visualizing with the cobweb, is weaving with the habits and patterns of behavior in mind, weaving the reality I want, weaving the life that I want, the day that I want, like it's very present, but then also because it weaves outwards, it ripples outwards through the habits and patterns of behavior, the state of mind, the beliefs. And anything that comes up and challenges is an opportunity for me to, again, refine and do the inner work. Is there something I need to clear here? Is this an opportunity for me to speak my truth? And again, temper it with compassion, with love, to come from a point of view of being loving rather than being in a state of resistance and fear towards what someone else is saying that disagrees or is not in alignment with where I want to be. So knowing that I am, as long as I remain true to myself and do my best, then I'll stay in my own alignment, in my own truth. And so seeing those things that come up externally, not as threats, but rather opportunities. Again, like I wrote, to enjoy where it is you are and who you are, to strengthen who you are, where you are, to share, to be honest again and communicate, to nourish, to love and appreciate the resonancy that you are in the practice of maintaining, and to be aware of where you want to be again. I think sometimes when we see it externally, that helps create that growth and that movement and brings it forth continuously, keeps it alive. Because I think whenever it stops moving, it's not alive anymore. I think that's where toxicity and stagnancy and complacency and depression, I think, also comes from. Yeah, so that's Sagittarius season, my perspective of it so far. I have not worked with the Mystical Shaman Oracle card deck in so long. So let me go back to here so you can see. It says, before there was time, before there was language, there were the sacred symbols. So I want to see what the Sacred Rebels has to share with us today. I'm not loving this background sound right now. You might be, so I'm sorry if you are. I really feel like changing to something else here. And the thing is, I have to find something that is royalty free. Yeah, you know what? Let's just turn it down. That was nice, actually. That was really nice. Alright, get some water. I'm getting so warm. Sagittarius. So I want to get a card first for the truth about this season of Sagittarius. An overall energy card. I'm going to take it from there. Ooh, look at how it landed straight on my leg here. I'm just gonna, wow, the rainbow, number 41. Ooh. Okay, I'm just gonna check this, if there's enough water. Yeah, no. Scent gets a bit intense when there's not enough water in the rainbow. Okay, that's beautiful. Let's see. I've actually been connecting with, and this relates beautifully with this tempering energy of how you have the black and you have the white, you have the perceived good, the perceived bad, the experienced good and the experienced bad, probably through perception. And white is the reflection, isn't it? What is, White is the reflection and black is the absorption of all colors. Black holds infinite potential. And so the rainbow of colors emerge. Back to your true colors, the song. See your true colors shining through, and back to connecting with your true self. I feel like maybe Scorpio season was more of this refining is the major season for me right now. This word, I think it's my word for 2020. It's become my word. I don't even know if I stated a word for this year as we begun. I don't know if I did, but refining keeps coming up and it resonates still. And so I feel like Scorpio season was very much this diving deep, diving down into like the parts of self that maybe are less tolerated, I want to say, is the word that comes up. Less appreciated. And then in in Sagittarius season, I feel like it's easier to appreciate all parts of yourself. It's easier to appreciate the spectrum, the rainbow that you are, and how the different parts of yourself have played important roles in the different experiences you've had. This full spectrum experience is beautiful. I was just writing to a friend about how life is very much this up and down, this like the notes within a song, how it creates the dynamic of the music when you have the higher tones and the lower tones. And if we're able to perceive our life experiences in the same way, and even with appreciation, then I think that lightens the load, that lightens the experience. And we still experience the feelings, right? Different emotions that are a natural part of being a human, but they feel less natural. They become natural and they become, again, appreciated. And in that process, magic becomes real, I think. I feel like that's what it's done for me. And I think it's also about appreciating the world that we see around us and the infinite amount of possibilities that are available to us. And Neptune is going direct, right? 1st of December. And so it's an opportunity for us to play more within the realms of the imagination, to feel less. I was watching a talk about utopia and dystopia worlds and why there's been such focus on dystopia and not so much on utopia. And Kevin made a really good point about how when we have more focus, like in movies and stuff, of dystopian realities, then our reality maybe seems less dystopian in relation with. And I think that's a really great point. And I think I'm seeing a lot of people play more with utopia, play more with sharing their points of views, their perspective of how we can do better and feel better and be better for ourselves and for each other, for the planet as a whole, even the universe and all of existence, you know? Yeah, to play more and appreciate, especially when Neptune goes direct, appreciate the different possibilities, opportunities that are available to us, and to enjoy the visualization, the imagination, and to feel less in this state of like you have to do something right now to create that right now, and rather enjoying again just the blossoming of the imagination and how it sets an aim, something for us to work towards, something for us to fly towards, move towards. And sharing the different ideas people have, and listening and holding space for each other and all the different perspectives that we have and carry, and really move together as a unit, you know, in the best way, which it takes practice for sure. Okay, I love it. Let's get I don't know, I have the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck, Always and Forever. And then I love that deck so much, the Patch Tarot. Kind of feel like playing with this actually. And then I also have the Mary L Tarot, which I feel is very suitable for Sagittarian season. Okay, you know what I'll do? I'll read what the rainbow card has to say from the Mystical Shaman, because I haven't worked with this deck in a long time, like I said, and I'd love to see what this amazing deck has to share with us. It's created by, it's 3 creators. Let's see if their names are here. There are Alberto, Villoldo, Colette, Baron-Reid, Marcela, Lobos. There you can see the names. 41. Number 41. I like to hold it up as I... Alright, the essence. The rainbow symbolizes the 7 steps of true spiritual path, which manifests as the colors of the 7 chakras. Hold up, wait a minute. Isn't Sagittarius the 7th sign? Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, what comes after Virgo? Libra, no, Scorpio, Sagittarius. Is Sagittarius number 9? Because if it is, I was getting up 8 and was it 7 and 8 in my personal reading all the time? So it's like moving from 7 to 8. Oh yeah, but this is saying 8 and 9. Or was it 8 and 9? I honestly don't remember. Zodiac signs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, Sagittarius is number 9. Alright. In the Himalayas, should I read again? Let's do it. The rainbow symbolizes the 7 steps of true spiritual path, which manifests as the colors of the 7 chakras. In the Himalayas, the rainbow body is seen as the full realization of our essence. The rainbow also represents the bridge between the physical and the spiritual worlds. At the end of our lives, we can journey across the rainbow bridge to the highest heavenly realms. When the rainbow appears, it is an affirmation that all is well and that you are in right relationship with spirit. The invitation. The rainbow tells you that the end of the storm is near. Persevere and remember that it is darkest just before the dawn. Do not give up hope. Things are about to take a positive turn. Listen for the morning rooster that announces the coming of the dawn, even while the night is still darkest, but do not claim victory yet or let your guard down fully. Fascinating. I do feel like with the pandemic and a lot of stuff going on globally, there can be this sense of hopelessness, or I think a lot of people are tired as well, tired of old ways, tired of maybe even disappointed. I think a lot of people, as they awaken to the ways of the world and how it's time for change, sometimes it can feel overwhelming when you see the different things that are going on, and how unnecessary they have been and are. And yeah. Okay, I'll start with the Mary L because it's more of a like very overall energetic deck. She does have some spreads in there. We have the overall energy of the season. So let's see the overall energy of the challenge this Sagittarian season. What's the overall challenge? And make it relevant for those who watch this video, and may it be beneficial in the highest and best way, with ease, with grace, with joy. And with resonancy of the true self. Thank you. It's the overall challenge. One card, please, for the overall challenge. You said eyes, don't be discouraged, though I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you can make you feel so small. But I see a true color shining through. Wow, 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 wow. This energy, I think this is the star, if I remember correctly, and I don't know if you can see that very well. I know the camera quality isn't the best. I did try with my big camera, but it honestly wasn't any better because of the lighting right now. It's evening time here in Norway. But if you look at all the people down there, that's what they're meant to represent. And then this woman, that is the star. The challenge, oui. What I'm getting from this card is really, which is funny because I was meditating on this earlier, reflecting on how there's the self and then there's the all, your ability to see yourself truly, those around you as well truly, and hold space for everyone's truth, which means practicing conversations that are less about being right and more about being true. And again, it's like this inside out perspective. I think what can also come up with Sagittarian energy, my ascendant is actually Sagittarius, is the this energy of superiority, and that you see how she's like bigger than all of them. She's going up above them, and her face is very much focused on them actually. And I'm getting like it's the ability. The ability to see yourself within others, and that really comes when you practice self-awareness. Is like when people say something from a specific state of being, it's like you recognize that conversation from when you had it within yourself or with someone else, and it's like you can see the truth of it. And what I wrote earlier, I think it was 2 days ago, I saw it somewhere, I don't remember where, but it says, I think it was on Instagram, it said, you see others' secrets and keep them sacred. And I love that, being able to hold space for others. And I think when you're humble and honest with yourself and the room that you have to grow, and the fact that everyone has room to grow, there's always something that we can grow towards, which keeps us moving and inspired to keep moving, right? And keep this whole existent thing afoot. I think that's key, to remain humble, even if you're in a state of being or in a room where you feel like you are more focused on self-awareness than the others, or if you feel like you're more aware about something than the others, to remain in this state of humility and remembrance of where you've been, and that everyone has free will and free choice to be where they want to be and to be who they want to be. Yeah, hold space. That's what I feel with this, very much so. Holding space. The potential growth is what's coming to mind. Let's do it. I haven't really done this type of reading before. It's very fun. I'm very happy with. Okay, this is a lot. I think it's 5 of fire. Upside down. Upside down, you turn. You're in the stable. Round and round, you turn. Just double check in the book that I'm right about the number. 5 of fire. Yeah. Keywords: strength in opposition, perseverance, unwavering, unrelenting, powerful, great of heart. In reverse, bloodlust, war, violence. Sheesh. Opportunity for growth. Conquered through heart, integrity, greatness, point of no return, tip of the spear, show of force, righteous force, force now beyond your control, reality bearing down on you, trail blazing, even if you're getting even if you're getting beat up right now, you were made for this and have the skills to succeed. Potential for growth with the 5 of fire. I'm going to go into my Patch Tarot deck, beautiful Patch Tarot deck, and ask for some clarifying cards. Since this is the energy of potential growth, it's throwing me off a little bit that it's 5 of Wands in reverse. If it was 5 of Wands upright, 5 of fire, then I'd feel like it's this state of moving into sovereignty, actually. 8 of Wands. Okay. Thank you. I'd like one more, actually. Or maybe not. Okay, let's start with this. So I got the 8 of Wands. And what I love about the Patch Tarot deck is that you get these different... I actually have I shared about this deck on my YouTube channel? I don't know, but I think I will, because it was a powerful deck for me in my initial steps within spirituality. So you have the Sagittarian energy there, and then you have Mercury there, 8 of Wands, right? And then there's some keywords up here, shift, and then if it had come upright, then it would be sloth. So the fact that it came out upright, right, is good. It means that there is shift, there is change, perhaps change of the energy of the war and the violence. What was the other keyword here? Bloodlust is legit. And then the other card that came through is the Chariot, which is the energy of Cancer. And again, there's also movement here, very, very obviously. And the Chariot is about this moving forth and this space that holds to move forward. Oh, wow. Now it clicked. Okay. Because I was saying potential for growth, right? And so potential for growth within this energy of moving. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay. So 5 represents what moves out of something that is stable, something that is secure, something that is familiar and at home and feels known. Because you have 4, it's very stable energies, elemental, DNA has 4 codes. What else? Tables have 4 legs, chairs have 4 legs. It's very stable, secure energy, right? And then when you get 5, it's like moving out of that stability, what has been known, into to continue creating, because everything keeps moving, right? To remain alive. And so here I feel like what has been before is like moving into this space of something new. And since it's fire, it's the energy of the spirit, creativity, and really this where we're being, like where we're being at. And I think maybe what's been done before is because the 5 feels very vulnerable and shifty, because you're moving out of what's been so secure, so familiar, and you're moving kind of, and again, in this sovereign energy, moving into yourself, self-aware, accountable for yourself as well, can be done with force. It can be done with this like aggressive energy to try and break through, whilst this right here again is pointing back to, because if you look at how they're laying here on my book here, this is how they're looking, and I feel 42 minutes. It's like the lion is pointing towards the woman again, and the woman is showing this openness, this holding space, this more gentle energy, and how some things are best done in a gentle way. There's a time and a place for this type of energy, for sure. But I think it's been overused in many ways to try and avoid this intimacy, avoid this vulnerability, and with an ignorance of the strength of vulnerability. Imagine someone who is very vulnerable, goes through all these experiences, and people that tear them down or tear them down or bully them, and they're able to maintain a state of vulnerability. Or when you're open to love, right, and you're vulnerable in this love, and you get heartbroken, and then the next relationship, you're able to still be vulnerable. The strength that requires, you know what I mean? So, yeah, this is beautiful. Potential for growth, to really, to shift that energy. And that feels collective, like that feels, let's see, the Sun in reverse and the Tower. Look at these two together. I really wish the quality was better right now. And you can see how this looks so much like what this up here is. And it's like this is what's moving down, and this is actually in reverse. So and you can see the figure here is moving downwards. But look at his face. It's such a state of surrender of the ego. And these both speak to like your conscious self. The Sun is the conscious self, the self that is in light, that you're very aware of and present with, the self that others see as well. And sometimes what it can be is like a manipulation of the self that is seen by others to be seen in the light that you desire to be seen in, rather than trusting that your true self is enough, good enough, and that often comes from traumas or hurts from before, or even being told that you weren't enough, right? So it's again a clearing of those old patterns, those old behaviors, those old experiences, and really remaking. And so there is this tearing down, right? And the beautiful thing is that you can be in command of this and like move through and help break down these constructs, these patterns of belief, patterns of behavior that you know do not serve you, in a way, break them down in a way that is compassionate and empathetic and forgiving of yourself and others. And this also for me is very much like it looks safe, it looks secure. Like whatever isn't meant to stay, whatever isn't true will break down easily and crumble, but what is true remains. Again, this refining energy. Keep feeling this refining energy. Your true nature, right? Because the nature of like, let me move through this that doesn't require violence with violence isn't truth. You know? Wow. I love this. I absolutely love reading. It's one of my favorite activities. Is there anything else to say? It's already been like 46 minutes. Sheesh. I hope you're enjoying this. If you're still watching, I'd love to know that you're enjoying, because I'm enjoying. I'd love to share more, but if it's, you know. I think maybe I'll share either way, actually. Why not? Okay, so we've had the challenge, the potential for growth, and I feel like having one final card. Okay. What is I'd like to see the true highest and best card spot, with ease, with joy, with grace, that serves the true self in the highest and best way, with ease, with grace, with joy. Yeah, I love that. Okay, energy of support for this growth, this potential growth. What card can come through in support of those who want to practice this potential growth and those who want to meet this challenge? And I'll get the Sacred Rebels for that. Yes, I love it, I love it. Hello, beautiful. I love a card for... Okay. A card for... a card in support of those who want to practice facing this challenge and growing through it, getting strengthened through it, gaining self-awareness through it as well, and self-love, practicing self-love, and really embracing the potential growth and really growing through and with. So beautiful. Okay, I'll no. Follow your own rhythm. Right back to the rainbow and your true colors. Wow. And the law of gestation, there's something called the law of gestation that shows that things grow in with reverence, with harmony, with certain laws, natural laws, just like a seed is planted into the ground and then through the air, the water, the sunlight, it grows, and there's a rhythm, there's a path, right? And it grows upwards very often. It grows upwards, and I'm gonna go into a whole thing, but I feel like this is a good. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, let's read from the Sacred Rebels Oracle by Alana Fairchild, and it's illustrated by Autumn Skye Morrison. The number 5, follow your own rhythm. Deep within, you are moved by an ancient, powerful force that cannot be tamed. It is the rising pulse of your connection to the life force. You feel it in your bones, in your blood, in your heart, and in your belly. When there is something dying within, you sense it falling away, no longer needed. You sense when it is time to rest and be patiently in transition. You feel the stirring of agitation and restlessness when new life calls you to create, to act, to step forward, and to take a risk. You know that you march to your own beats, that no one else can tell you what your inner rhythms are, and that you must trust in your own timing. You cannot be rushed or forced, nor can you be held back when it is time to burst forth. Life celebrates and supports the natural rise and fall of your inner rhythms. This oracle brings you the special message that you cannot miss what you are destined for, nor will you gain anything by trying to push yourself. Trust in the life cycles within, and you will feel the perfect balance between effort and surrender, discipline and letting go. When it is time for the rhythm of rest, you will feel a natural slowing within and be drawn into contemplation and environments that are more gentle, spacious, or nourishing, and perhaps more peaceful. When the rhythms of play beats in your heart, you will reach out to others to connect, dance, converse, sing, make music, make love, and share your wildness. You will be drawn to uplifting groups and places where you can experience a positive, energetic exchange. Your needs will be met in harmony with your own rhythm. Rhythms. All that you will miss out on by trusting this is anxiety. What you will gain is peace. Your needs will be met in harmony with your own rhythms. Oh, I just read what I had already read. I'm sorry. If you have also pulled the inner trust card or feel intuitively guided to read that message now, this oracle has the even stronger message for you that you must surrender your attachments to doing things the way others think they should be done. Whether that be the hours that you sleep or the way you structure your day or your creative work. You must honor your need for rest and replenishment, as well as your need for play. Sometimes an afternoon nap or trip to the beach will do far more for you than slugging away when you are mentally depleted and in need of rest. Sometimes you need to work when the energy is flowing, even though others may say it is too much and you must stop now. You are an empowered individual, and you have the intelligence and wisdom to choose for yourself. Experiment with what works best for you and tailor your lifestyle so that it nurtures your best self into being. Wow. This is so good. I'm going to say that last part again. Experiment with what works best for you and tailor your lifestyle so that it nurtures your best self into being. Hallelujah. Okay. Healing process. Say aloud. I now release any unhealthy attachment to the structures, routines, and belief systems of others that are preventing me from accessing and honoring my inner sacred rhythms. May I be assisted through unconditional love to know the truth of my own timing. I love myself enough to give myself rest when needed, to trust in my own timing and not feel forced or rushed. I believe in myself enough to take healthy, inspired risks and action when the timing feels right to me. I trust my inner rhythms. They are wise and helpful. Through unconditional love, so be it. You may now wish to stand up and close your eyes. Be aware of your own energy. What does it feel like now? What does your body want? Is it to move, to curl up in a ball and rest, or to open your arms and dance around the room with joy? Perhaps you would like to give yourself a reassuring hug. Take a moment now to do what is needed for yourself based on your feelings. If this is easy for you, great. If it is hard for you to know what it is you need, even more wonderful. This means you are open to learning something new about loving yourself, and it will become easier with practice. If you ain't got it and you feel you need it, go get it. I recommend it. I'm going to keep sharing from and through and with it because I love this deck so much. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope this served you in the highest and best way, with ease, with grace, with joy, you beautiful self. Enjoy the season of Sagittarius. I have lots more to share. Yeah. So I'll end this video here for now because we didn't get to 1 hour is good.